Bruce is my favourite man.
Well, they're in a bit of... Actually, they've had a bit of trouble there.
Well, you may have noticed, because Steve Bruce we highlighted a couple of times last year.
Yeah.
Hull City, one of our favourites.
Love those
Sponsored
guys.
by Cash Converters,
Yeah,
as you can see from my
Wow. It's a sponsor.
You may have noticed on Steve's tracksuit, there's no sponsorship.
They're having a lot of trouble.
You know your club's going poorly if Cash Converters drop you.
I wasn't upset because we did speak to him after,
yeah.
and we asked him whether it was bad news, whether he was upset about it, and to see what he had to say.
Oh, no, we're very happy. And I believe the $2 shop wants to come on board. And our kit looks like it's going to be designed by quite a famous designer by the name of St Vincent de Paul. So we're very happy.
How good is that?
That is fantastic, boys. From the ridiculous to the actually sublime. We are very lucky to have him as our first guest. Good friend of the show. Just been to the launch of the A-League because, of course, it starts on the weekend. Can you please welcome the boss of the A-League, our friend, Mr. Damien De Bohun. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on. We're really happy to have you as our first guest for the new season.
OK, let's get it. It's 10-year anniversary. We got the Asian Cup coming up. We got Western Sydney Wanderers about to play in a final of the Asian Champions League. Does it get any better than this? How good's it been?
Oh, so much happening. I think you look at Western Sydney Wanderers in the Asian Champions League, and they're playing in a final which, if they win, they go to the World Club Championships to potentially play against Real Madrid. And you look at David Villa coming today, and there's so many good stories. So very exciting times.
Will the game be played in Parramatta, or will it be played in a bigger stadium?
It's still being finalised, but it looks as though the AFC will have the game played at Parramatta. It meets all the standards, and I think it's great home ground advantage for the team.
Okay, and the good thing I reckon about Parramatta is that even though people say, oh, it's just a bit too small, don't you reckon it actually sends the message that you guys are big in Saudi? This is our club here. It really reinforces that David Goliath kind of feel to it.
It's interesting. Before the semi-final against the Korean team, FC Seoul, the Korean coach called us a small club or a small league, and that was real motivation for the players to go out and do the job. So, look, I think it's a great opportunity. They're 2 years young. It's an incredible story, and if they get through, they'll be playing later this year in Morocco.
That has been a case. Western Sydney has been a case of absolutely the right thing going into the right area. We see expansion in leagues around the country of various codes and various sports, and even invented competitions like the Big Bash where they sort of split up. But that is a really good example of there was a huge demand. It was put in place in a really good way, and people have just taken to it unbelievably.
They have. I think the fans are involved in everything from choosing the strips through to where the team would play, and it's just been a massive success story. And what's great is it's raised the bar across the board. And we had the launch today with the two Melbourne teams, Victory and Melbourne City as they are now, Adelaide United and Perth Glory, and it's great to see two really strong teams in Melbourne to match the two strong teams in Sydney now, and it will really lift the competition.
All right. Oh, God. Oh, no. I'm sorry, we tried, but he does have to get in. Yeah.
It's nice you get a couple of half volleys early. I want to say a couple of things, because we had you on the show last year, and you are the head of the A-League. Congratulations on keeping your job. But the launch today, Damien, for those of us who weren't there or even invited.
That's the one.
I was invited. You were invited, weren't you?
I just,
You didn't get one?
No, I didn't get one. What were the highlights and what actually took place today for the launch of the A-League?
Well, we had the four coaches and the groups of players there to talk about the season ahead. We also, I guess, highlighted the vanishing spray that you spoke about earlier. That'll be introduced into the league this season.
Did you care about my stat that it was the first vanishing spray
I cared a lot.
penalty?
Yes,
You cared?
I cared a lot.
Here's a stat that makes two people.
What is your problem? He doesn't want to do an hour. He's having to tweet everyone that comes on. Let's go back to community radio. You can just do 40 minutes of communism. No one cares.
I will say this: if comparing this to community radio, the pay is very similar.
You can't get him.
So the coach was there. What else? This sounds like a terrible day. What happened?
It was a great day. We
Yeah.
had all the media that was invited, of course.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, yours got lost in the mail. I do apologise for that.
Exactly. David Villa was there?
David Villa was there.
Thank you very much.
Best up,
You
Bruce.
drove him there.
I drove you.
Just coming across from Brisbane, and it was really just to signify that the new season's here, and we're expecting massive crowds in the first round. And
Exactly.
of course, Friday night with Fox Sports and SBS One broadcasting Melbourne Victory and Western Sydney Wanderers. There's a big start looming.
Okay, now, speaking of launches, Mr. De Bohun, obviously the A-League launch is huge, and you're here for another very auspicious launch, our first show, and the relaunch of what we're calling Australia's favourite television segment. If I give you this cap, I believe you're prepared to do the honours.
Oh, yes.
Really?
That is your camera, sir, whenever you're ready.
English accent.
It's time for...
Scottish, okay?
Scottish is good.
No one knows.
And now it's time for Who's the Missus?
Oh, points! What a corker! Oh, I don't Adam and Eve it! Fish and chips! You dopey muppet! Oh, blimey! And that was...
And that was Who's the Missus?
Ladies and gentlemen,